Hello, my beautiful friends out there in Taiwan and all around Asia. I'm sure you guys are really sitting down, want to listen to what I'm going to say to you guys, but you know what? It is. I love sharing everything I do. As you guys know, I'm a colorist myself at heart. I'm a hairdresser. So that's when I live for that. And I love educating. I'm an educator. I travel the world where I share the knowledge when it comes to color. I try to share what I know and how you can interpret it into your, doesn't matter where you are. At the end, hair is hair. Everybody has the same kind of hair. Some might be thicker, thinner, darker at the end. It's just hair. But really it's how you manipulate and color it and change the structure that is important. But when we share the knowledge, how we do it, for me, that's what excites me. So I can't wait to share with you guys a little bit the way I see things, what inspired me, what influenced me when it comes to doing color. Because I think there's influences and inspiration everywhere. It's about really taking the time to absorb what you see, then translate that into what you do every day when it comes to color. What really inspired me to be an educator, because I feel like I'm blessed and lucky at the same time. So I grew up with a woman. My grandmother, my aunties, and all my mentors are women when it comes to color, because I've been nurtured by this woman, from my family to outside people. And I feel like as the same way they've given me, I need to give back, because of what I've learned, that we can only grow when we give. What we've been taught, when we pass it, is how you grow. If you keep those information, it's a way on your body, in your mind. But when you share it, you create space for you to grow. So for me, educating is like, give me that freedom. I feel like a colorful butterfly, because you're releasing and you're floating. It's your creativity. For me, that's the way I see education is. Because the more you teach, the more you learn and the more you have space. Because the brain is like a muscle. If you practice it, the muscle get toner and toner and toner. It's very, very important. Also, you need to stretch. Stretching, that's when and also when you're sharing. Because if you don't stretch, you get tight, because you're keeping. But you need to stretch and release. And I feel like creativity is the same when it comes to teaching. And creativity is about having the ability to create that perfect balance. For me, creativity doesn't mean you have to do anything crazy. It's about sometimes making things, keeping it simple, but making it, being the fines out of it. And when I'm teaching also, I see it. The main thing is not about, you can have a class where you have 10 people in a class. That 10 people, they learn in different ways. Some will learn visually, some will learn better by hearing, some by being practical. So you must be able, when you're communicating with them, be able to communicate with everybody. And I think that's an art itself when it comes to educating. That's what I like. Sometimes I try to look at the student who I feel is more weak and timid. I tend to give them more my energy, because they are the student that needs more help. And who's very talented, you're good, okay, you can go by yourself. But my job as an educator is to search the people who's quiet, who's shy, to lift them up. So I think as a good educator, you must be able to find these people in your class. Because the good one, they don't care, they just want to be better. But the weaker one, they need your help. So as an educator, you can connect with these and find them and make them feel, so you can leverage. I think that's what inspires me, is always to find like they say, find the broken one. Because I didn't have a parent. I have my grandma, my mom left me my dad, so I always feel like I need to help. That's one of my little weaknesses in my heart. So when I teach, I feel that's how I connect. Yes. I think social presence is a new way, but it's not the way. Because I feel like you should have the perfect balance to be in social presence in social media and also in reality presence. Because at the end, when we turn off our phone, it's reality. You don't want to be happy on your phone and then being happy in real life. I think it's about having that perfect balance. If you're real in the camera, make sure you're real in life. Because you're going to be happy only on your phone. It is important to have both, to be honest, because it's the new way of marketing, of selling yourself, or teaching people who you are, what you do. Everything is more accessible. So that's mean now with the social presence, if you do something great, everybody should see it, not only one person or the group. From doing that, when there's bad thing, everybody can say it too. Not about just the good part. The good comes with the bad. Then we have to be smart enough to analyze the good part and keep on the bad part, learn from it, either remove it or fix it. So I feel like the social presence is so important. Even from when you do your client, the way you take the picture at the end, you're filming, it's like your business card. It's not just a business card anymore. What you do is a whole experience, because everything is virtual. Before they come and meet you to get their hair done, you want them to feel an experience. Oh, because they can see your video, see what you do. They're gonna feel like they're already with you before even meet you. People will Google you before people wouldn't. So that's been, it's been a good thing, but also now you have to be careful because what you post out there, it reflects on who you are. Maybe it's not, because you can have maybe an illusion world. People will judge you by that, and in reality, you're very different. So it's a game. What does influencer mean? There's different level of influencing. And for me, there's more like that. There's a social, virtual one. Then there's a real life influence. Of course, I strive for the real life, the one-on-one, like the old school where you go and teach, you go and touch people, you go to their salon, you go to their house. That means it's like more deeper, it's a long-term influencer. Then you have the modern digital influencer, is like where people are always doing something, then they leave. The online one is like a season. It's like a trend, huh? But the live building connection, the old school way, it's long-term. People will never forget about you because you meet them, your presence, you've touched them, tell them words. That's when you really ignited you're opening someone's heart, opening their eyes, you're making their life being more bright. Have you ever been experienced with someone where you've been with that person, they talk with you, they teach something, you feel like after you experience that moment, you feel like everything is more brighter? For me, that's what influence, that's when you're influencing really my aurora around me. And this can happen also in social media, don't get me wrong. I think we overuse it because now you're doing a little video here and there, you're doing a fast, you're bleaching just that part of your hair. Suddenly a lot of people want to do that because it's more easy to do it. By doing an influencer like that, it doesn't mean it's wrong. You're making people understand like, yes, you can do it, it's fine. But sometimes watching something in reality is very different. That's why people have to have 7 years experience behind the chair. Some people have to go to beauty school to learn that. You cannot just learn by watching it and doing it. Yes, you can repeat it, but there's a science behind it. That's why people get their hair breaks and everything. There's no right or wrong as when it comes to influencers. You have to understand really the limit of it. You can influence me to make me excited. It's good. But when it comes to reality, I want someone who influences me like deep on a deeper level. Because I told you there's a superficial level of influence, then there's a deeper level of influence. I feel like you have to have that balance. The deeper one is your roots. You have people who are really going to inspire you. Then you have people like that's going to make you excited influence. But of course, excited is the fast one. Because I say like it's like a medicine, no? Influencer is like a medicine. There's like one that will calm your headache, but it won't heal the headache, the real problem. I want to get the influencer, the deeper one that will heal my headache, not discover my pain without healing me. Then what happens, you keep on looking for the next drugs. There's that's the social media part. Then there's like those guru or people like really want to heal you inside to make you more stronger as a person. I see like those two ways. I don't know. What do you think? I think the hardest part is staying focused and really enjoying the process because there's a lot of distraction. Distraction is what really can mess up your dreams or your ambition or where you want to go. Doing it itself, it's easy, but sometimes when you take a break, you look around, you feel like, why not me? Because you try to compare yourself. That's the most difficult thing. It's hard to stay focused because there's so many things coming from everywhere. It's good to see it, but make sure you don't emotionally get involved with it. You learn, but you keep on your journey. That's the most challenging thing, is like just try to stay focused, to keep that discipline of doing every day, put the work day in, day out, trying it, even though you see someone's doing something, but I can do it better, but why they get the possibility, you don't feel the jealousy, the grudge. You should be just motivated. You know what? Okay, I'm going to get there. You keep on doing it. I'm teaching. I made an error. I'm going to get better. And when you're understanding also your weakness, and don't let your weakness really become a burden, making your weakness become your strength. Oh, that's why you have to work more there. The difficult thing is teaching yourself to be okay. It's okay. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of time I feel I wanted to quit. Why I don't want to do hair, why I want to do something else. But I realized that God or the universe, how you want to call it, that's my calling. I love what I do. But sometimes you question yourself, like everybody, you know? It's about answer your own self and that discipline. That's the most difficult thing, is like having that discipline during the process. It's a great question, you know. But again, you know, I'm a man of God. Always have faith in God. Like, oh, I get goosebumps saying that word because I know I've been in a lot of challenging moments, but the amount of faith I have erases all my problems, all my stress. Sometimes when I put all my trust into the universe or God, put all my problems, and I say, no one, I can't handle that. I'll give it to you. He just said, don't worry, I'll take it. It's like the universe. It's like sometimes we make our problem becomes our own weight, and we have to give it to someone. The only people I can give that I know gonna get the best use of it is the universe or God. I do that. I just release it. I say, you know what? I know you're gonna take care of it for me. I just have to be disciplined and just keep on going. So that's it. That's my answer. There's no other answer. There's so many, but that's the pillar of it. The truth is like sometimes as a young hairdresser, I get so creative. I get involved. I have so many noise around me. Always the right noise is always my wife. Sometimes I would fight with her, but at the end, she's always right. It's hard to say it, but I can say it now she's not here. It is that sometimes it's painful to hear the truth. Does that make sense? One thing I've learned, like the truth is like criticism. When people critique you, it was always a challenge when I was younger. Now it's not. Now I always find out how can I get better when people say, I love it. I don't like when people give me too much compliment because I know there's something. Tell me something wrong. The truth for me is honesty. Tell me how can I grow? Because I don't want to stop learning. If everybody's giving me compliment, it's like life, no? When you're in a hospital bed, if your heartbeat goes like this, that's when you're dead, no? That's when everything is close and even. But when it goes like this, inconsistency like this, that's when you're alive. So I want to be alive. I want to go high. I want to go low. I want to go high. I want to go low. That's what makes you live longer. Because that's when you're going to have good times and bad times. But unless you embrace the good and the bad and the ugly, then enjoy the journey. So that's when the truth, no? People who's going to be around you in your environment, that's going to really make you see when you do good, when you're doing okay. For me, is that. To be a great educator in the field. Nowadays, of course, having social media, you can show your work, but I feel like it's not about just showing, it's about teaching someone like how to be better at what they do. I cannot teach you experience. You have to experience. There's no shortcut to experience. You have to experience it. Does that make sense? And being an educator is all that matters. It's about understanding the fundamental. The fundamental is very important. So what does that mean? When you're learning, when you're experiencing, that is like making sure it's not about just like look and learn, understanding why you do certain things. So when you explain somebody else, you don't explain to them how to do it. You explain to somebody why you're doing it. That's what becoming a good educator is. It's not about just showing, but telling people why you're doing it. Once you master that, it's an art. The art is about explaining why. If you're good at doing why, that's when you can really teach someone. Me, I've mastered that because I wanted to always know why. And when you ask why, that helps you be a better educator. Because when you know why, then you can teach why. Because when you're just teaching something, you're just doing mechanics, you don't know why you're doing it. That doesn't make you an educator. When you're doing right, it's just for you. But if you're an influencer, that's when you want to teach people. You're influencing other people. And many people, as I said, they can learn by watching. But some people want to listen. They want to know why. Because if they make an error, they know what's wrong. So that's when being an educator and influencer in education is having that foundation, that basic knowledge. That's when your foundation must be very, very strong. Because once you learn the foundation, nobody can take this away from you. They can take your phone away from you. They can take social media away from you. But the art, understanding, nobody can take that. Only that. Because I always say the foundation or the education will set you free. Because it's something they can take everything away from you, but not your knowledge you've learned. My next influence when I'm thinking about influencing is like, it's just simple. It's like, you know what, just humble. It will influence people to be humble, just to be happy where they are. Don't compare yourself. That's my new mantra, is like humbleness in whatever you're doing. That's my influence. It's okay. You are where you are supposed to be. There is road to grow. I think that's the most important thing, because everybody's looking at the object, not the presence where they are. I feel like there's a big missing. Even in the world of hairdressing, I can see everybody, I want to have that. I want to have 200,000 followers. I want to have more likes. So you don't realize what you're doing is amazing, just embrace it. It's okay. You're alive. You have a job. You enjoy what you do. Just be humble. I think once the humbleness of what you're doing, just do stuff, not do stuff to impress people, do stuff because you like doing it. That's what I want to influence people to understand. Just love what you're doing. Just do it again and do it better. And then maybe you might do 5 times good and 1 time it will be bad. Don't focus on that. Focus on the 5 good times. And what can you do to change that 1 time you did wrong? What can you make it better? It's like being humble. Yeah. I think if you want to be an influencer, first you must be able to influence yourself. That's key thing. That's mean influence yourself to do something great. Do good to yourself. Start doing good. Now, doing good doesn't mean just be kind to people, be nice, love. I think that's the first thing, because you need to influence yourself to be good, to be amazing with yourself, healing yourself, like being like taking care of yourself. I mean, that's one great thing for the long term. So I mean, if you want to be like a fast influencer, then you create something. You can go on TikTok, you can every day. But if you want to be a long-term influencer in life, make sure you influence yourself to be a better person. Does that make sense? Like really, like who you hang out with, what you're doing great thing, and then you build that consistency of doing that. Because by doing more great things, then the universe gonna give you bigger opportunity. Now you can be flawless of way of influence. It doesn't have to be just to social media. I feel sometimes when you do influence, like people next to you, you don't realize they need you more than you trying to find 10,000 people to influence. You don't realize there's people next to you who need to be influenced. You can do a bigger cause, no? That's what's important. Then of course, you can do the digital part, but you're making sure you master something, you keep on doing it every day. It doesn't come easy. Keep on doing it, consistency, doing it like a discipline. If you believe in it, maybe for me something might be, sorry using that word, stupid, but for you believe in it, just keep on doing it every day. Whatever you think you like, there's millions of people who likes it, but then they're gonna find you, they're gonna follow you. So you can do that also, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to do something that's gonna last you more longer, because like this, when you're doing like to find people to like what you like, sometimes you feel like, oh, people are not watching me anymore, you can go into depression. But when you're helping people, you're doing good, people always need help. So you're always gonna feel good. That's mean it's like, I think you should do both. Influence yourself, do good, give love, then influence yourself to be a good person. Then the rest of the universe will open bigger door for you.